let's get into The Mandalorian this week, as we always do. So, as I said, I had my Mando morning. Friday mornings, I've been watching them after I wake up, get some coffee. I got some cereal today, you know what I'm saying?
Cereal.
And then got into this Mandalorian.
Good stuff.
So, anyway, that was just funny the way you looked at me. So, episode 7 of season 2. This is crazy. Season 2 is already coming to an end, bro. It's sad. But I really enjoyed this episode. As we always do, we'll give our general thoughts, and then I'll put something in the description of the video version of this when the spoilers start, and we'll give you guys a full spoiler warning and all that. But just general thoughts, I really enjoyed this episode. I think it was a necessary slowdown for the show. I think it was, considering these past however many weeks now have been a lot of, fast-paced action, a lot of big character reveals, stuff like that. I think this was a necessary slowdown, and I really enjoyed it. I loved Bill Burr's character. I thought he really got some great character development, and he's so funny to me. Like, I enjoy him as a comedian. He had a really good. He was on SNL recently, and he had a really good, funny monologue. But he's just one of those people that's like naturally very funny, and I feel like his character, he just did himself, and I think it literally worked perfectly for this show. And so I just really appreciated that part. And then there's some big things that happen, which we'll get into in the spoiler section. But overall, I thought this was a solid episode. It didn't like blow me away like last week's episode did, but I really enjoyed it. Mo, what were your thoughts?
So, piggybacking on Bill Burr and his character in The Mandalorian, what's his name again? Exactly. That proves my point because
Manfield.
Yeah. The pause there is it kind of backs up my claim, and I think he fits really well in this episode, and you can tell like he's been vocal about how he loves Star Wars and how he really wanted to be in this. But honestly, I just see Bill Burr in The Mandalorian. Like, I don't really like, and that's what I like about it. Like, it just seems like Bill Burr is in The Mandalorian. Like, he does a really good job at acting, but like, to me, he's kind of just himself. Like,
Right.
That's the way I see it. And I really enjoy that out of him. Overall, I really thought that this episode was really good. The slowdown thing, in my opinion, I personally didn't like that it was a little bit slower or not as much action, just because we're in that second to last episode. And for me, through the first season, the fact that there was, the last 2 episodes were really high stakes. Like, even at the end, it was ending on a cliffhanger and stuff like that.
Right.
I really thought that it was going to be high intensity. I knew that. I was surprised by the last episode and how high intense it was. I thought it was going to keep that up. But other than that, it was a really good episode. It flowed really well. I liked like just a lot of the small details with the for example, a lot of Indiana Jones references.
Oh yeah, the whole like jungle sequence was
because
so dope.
Lucasfilm has a part of that.
Yeah, and it kind of felt it felt Indiana Jones, and it felt like a western to it. At times, like Clint Eastwood.
But like there was one scene that actually had me laughing. It was the part when they're on that cargo.
Wait, time out.
Oh,
we were gonna wait to get into spoilers. Okay.
Generally, okay. Just to sum it all up, I really liked the episode. I wish it was a little bit faster paced because we're in the last stretch of the season.
Yeah.
But that's all I have to say.
Good thing you cut off what you were going to say before you started talking.
Good thing you stopped me because I really wanted to talk about this part.
I did want to say one comment though about the oh man, they should have flipped. I think they maybe should have flipped last week's episode in this one, and obviously that wouldn't have worked for the story, but like. Maybe had the pace and some of what happened in the last one be this one. You know what I mean? That goes right into the finale. But anyway, really good episode. So without further ado, we're about to get into full spoilers. So you have been warned. You've been warned again. Click off of this if you have not seen the episode yet and come back once you've seen it. So let's get into this. So basically quick overview. Basically, episode starts out with Cara Dune and Mando and Boba. And what's the girl's name who's also part of the crew now? The sharpshooter. I really like her character. She's dope, and she's such a good.
It's not even that difficult of a name.
No,
it's like one or two syllables.
Yeah,
and I'm drawing a blank again. But she's
anyway
really
though.
Cool.
So they show up to this Imperial, or it was like old Imperial, because there was like TIE fighter ruins and stuff. Kind of junkyard type of place where Bill Burr's character was doing like community service work because he was trying to work his way out of prison. And basically, he's like, he was a really funny line when he showed up. He said, he was like, you look like, to Boba, he said,
oh, yeah,
you look like someone else that I know. And then Mando walks out behind him because he's clearly talking about Mando. And it just made me laugh. And there was a couple other one-liners in there I thought were funny. And then
I was surprised he didn't know who Boba was.
Yeah, no,
honest,
I kind of was
his name
too,
is so huge in the galaxy.
Right, and because he was former Imperial. But basically, they say if you go on this mission, well, I don't know if they promised him anything, but basically they get him out of his working, and basically they go on this mission to find the coordinates of Moff Gideon's ship, and because they think they can help him. I think Bill Burr's character, Mayfield, can help him. So basically, then they land on the planet. Looked familiar. What was I want to say the planet was in The Rise of Skywalker, where Rey was training, and they said the name, and the name kind of rang a bell, but I'm not fully sure.
I don't know.
Or it was in the Battlefront 2 video game. I don't know. Anyway, so they show up to this beautiful jungle planet. It looked gorgeous. Obviously, that's with their whole new technology to film it, so it's not like they filmed it on location, but it looked like they filmed it on location. So I thought that was super dope visually. But then basically, Bill Burr's character and Mando have to infiltrate a troop transport in order to get into the Imperial base. And when they're trying to decide who's going to go with Mayfield, Mando steps up to the plate and says, I'll do it. Because they're like, well, you have to show your face, for the scan, whatever. And Mando steps up to the plate, and he's like, I'll do it. So we all kind of know what they're foreshadowing. But they take over the Imperial transport, and they're heading into this location, and all of a sudden I was like, what are these dudes showing up? And it was the pirates from the third episode, right? And I thought I just got a kick out of that because I didn't think we'd see those characters again. And I think seeing like pirate characters in the Star Wars universe is just really kind of funny to me. Because they're like just on these ships, they're like, yeah. They almost remind me of the Tusken Raiders, like just, but a little bit more like visually there. But anyway, Mando fights him off in a really dope Western sequence, which we mentioned, Western inspired, Indiana Jones inspired sequence. And then they're able to get, well, it's looking like they're not able to get into there. It's looking like they're doomed. And then the TIE fighters come in to save the day.
What I wanted to say about that was, the thing that made me laugh was that it was like almost when you hear the Indiana Jones theme music, but just like it was so weird because I haven't like heard it, but the music that's playing behind when the TIE fighters come in and shoot down the pirates and stuff, it's like happy music, like the heroes have come in to save the day, but it's like it's technically the enemy, but like they're technically like
saving the
day.
Because in the transport they don't know it.
Yeah, but they're all like, all the stormtroopers are like, yeah, good work.
That
good
was
work.
hilarious.
And they're all like.
So yeah, then they come into the city and they're all just going crazy, and it was, that was really, that was hilarious to me when they were all celebrating and everything.
Even Bill Burr, he even says like, I never thought I'd be happy to see TIE fighters.
Yeah, exactly.
Be on our side.
No,
or something like that.
I really enjoyed that sequence. I thought it was funny. So then they are able to get in and able to get to the area where they need to scan relatively easily. But then as Din is there, he tries to do it once without his helmet or with the helmet, and it doesn't work.
Stupid.
And so you just know. Well, first Mayfield had tried it, but Mayfield was like, "I can't do it" because he saw his old officer, which we'll get into that. But he saw his old officer and was intimidated, so he turned around. He made Mando do it. Walks up. The facial scanner doesn't work when he has the helmet on, so he has to take the helmet off. And for the first time in The Mandalorian, Din, in front of all these people, just shows his face, and he just was bold about it. He knew he had to do this in order to save Grogu, and I think, like, ultimately save Grogu. And I think watching that was a huge character development moment because it really just takes his growth, and they showed like he is willing to sacrifice and put up with, like he's willing to do things that he otherwise wouldn't do for this child. So anyway, as he's getting his face scanned, as he was able to get in, he's trying to look at the coordinates on the map of Gideon's ship, whatever. The officer is like, "Hey," and he starts asking him questions. Had like a thick country accent. This guy did. I thought that was kind of funny.
He was pretty menacing.
Yeah, no, he was. I was like, "Yo, this dude's gonna." I'm nervous for him.
Yeah.
So he eventually is like, let's have a drink, and so they sit down and have a drink, talk, whatever. And Bill Burr's character, or Mayfield, just starts getting pissed off. He just is really upset because he's like, after what this officer did to him, which we find out a little bit about his backstory. And then Mayfield just ends up shooting him. Just like that. I mean,
he deserved it.
Right. Just knocked him right out. And then knocked pretty much the rest of the room out. And then they have to, basically, there's a whole sequence. They have to get out of there. Luckily, as they're on their way out, Cara Dune and the sharpshooter are there to just knock them all down. A super dope sequence. And Boba dropped that really dope bomb that you had talked about. That was one of your favorite sequences from the whole episode. And pretty much come to the end. And they let Mayfield go because originally they were going to send him back as an Imperial. But Cara Dune says something like, "It's funny that you died on this planet," or whatever it was. I found that really funny. And then basically episode ends with they show Moff Gideon as expected. We didn't see Grogu in the sequence, but basically Mando pops up on the hologram and basically says the same line that that Moff said to him when he showed up on the ship or whatever.
Finnick.
And
sorry, I just wanted to interject.
Finnick. Yes, that's the girl's name. Yes. That's the sharpshooter's name.
Yep.
And basically episode ends. So it leaves the obvious cliffhanger. Mando letting him know, "I'm coming after you."
And the way he said it, to me, first off, I thought it was really clever just with the dialogue.
Yeah.
The fact that he quoted Moff Gideon, actually.
Yeah.
From what
no,
Moff
I
Gideon,
just said that.
Oh, you just said that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But did you put the part in where he said, when Moff Gideon said it in season 1, at the end of season 1, that he said it, and then Mando said he.
Oh, I didn't catch that
because
part.
The emphasis on that is that you can tell he genuinely cares so much for him.
I didn't catch that part.
And like I just thought like it's just like it's such a deeper cut than like kind of just the real deeper message of it. It's just like he knows him, like obviously because he's been taking care of the child, but like he truly is fighting for him, and he is he is like the father figure for him.
Right.
So it was just really, it was like an emotional statement, which I'm excited for this next episode.
Yeah, no, it was definitely dope to see. So Mo, what is going to be your overall score? And you said your favorite. By the way, you said your favorite sequence was the.
Two of my favorite sequences was the intro when they come in and the TIE fighter comes down and like everyone's patting them on the back and they're like
Yeah.
super excited. And then the other one is when they're escaping and they've got the sharpshooters on Cara Dune and the sharpshooter Finnick on there fighting them, and then Boba picks him up and then he drops the bomb on those two TIE fighters.
Yeah.
So that both those sequences were my favorite. And then obviously, like, it's not really like a full sequence, but the dialogue at the very end, you can just feel like he is coming to attack Moff Gideon and everyone else.
So give your final score, and then I guess we'll just do a brief prediction for next week. Not a full prediction, just like a brief prediction.
I'm going to give it a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10. I'd probably give it close to an 8. Okay. I thought it was a solid episode. The only, like, two things that obviously brings it down a little bit is that especially because it's, again, I already said this, but I wish the action was a little bit, or like the stakes again were a little bit higher in that they kind of got to the part where they were already attacking them, like kind of like the first half of the battle or whatever. But I mean, other than that, really, it was good. I also wish the episode was just a bit longer too, just like kind of the episode before. But other than that, really good episode.
I'm gonna go 8.5. I think simply for the fact that I really enjoyed Bill Burr's character. I didn't really love him in the first season. I just thought he was okay, and I didn't love that episode. But I feel like this gave him a proper character arc and made him a very interesting character to me. And I hope we end up seeing him again at some point. Maybe in the new Ranger show they announced that's in the same timeline. Who knows? But brief predictions. I think that next week's episode is going to be like and I really hope it's like an hour-long episode. And I just think it's going to be an epic showdown, in-game style. I don't think they're fully going to team up with everyone. Like, I feel like they would have now. Maybe. But as far as, like, the Marshal, Bo-Katan will probably show up. Bo-Katan will probably show up because of the Darksaber thing. I don't think we're going to see Ahsoka, but who knows? So I'm really excited. I just think it's going to be an epic showdown with our main characters, and I do think that we're going to get that Jedi reveal at the end of who the Jedi is. I don't know if they'll kill Moff.
I don't think they will.
I mean, obviously, hopefully, like, they end up winning. Some people think they might end on kind of with the darker thing and then go into season 2 or season 3 with a big cliffhanger. I don't think they will. I think they'll end on defeating them, but I don't know if they'll kill Moff per se. Maybe. Who knows? That's kind of my prediction. What's yours? And I think the Jedi is going to be Ezra.
That's what I think too. It just fits, but I personally think we all kind of know where this is going to lead up because it's the last episode. So again, we'll have like the same view. I think it'll end with all of them kind of teaming up against Moff Gideon and the Dark Troopers. I want to see them in action.
That'd be freaking
the only thing that I think that the 6th episode, or was this the 7th, and then this is the 6th. The one thing that I think the 6th episode could have had is like I wanted to. All the Dark Troopers did is come down and take Grogu and then went back up.
You want to see them in action.
I wanted to see them in action. How they move, mobile. How are their fighting skills? But I want to see that in this next episode. So
I think we could get.
They're going to be fighting against some of the Dark Troopers and Moff Gideon. I think it would be pretty cool. So I think at the very end, what I'm thinking is we're going to see Ezra as I think he's going to be revealed as the Jedi, either that or
Luke,
or you're
Mace.
wearing his color.
Mace.
Yep.
Dude, Mace would be awesome.
I don't think it's going to happen. It's a very
I don't think so
fan-made
either. I think it's a reach.
Yeah, it is a reach, but
I think we could see Mace in the Obi-Wan show, though.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's it.
That's our thoughts on The Mandalorian. So we're excited to see where the finale goes, just like pretty much everyone who watches the show is. And looking forward to that. So